This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Welcome, listeners. I'm your host, Dani, and I'm the first-time reader who's going through this 15-book series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we are covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host, Brett, who's a longtime fan of the series, and he's acting as my tour guide on this journey. We also want to acknowledge our executive producers, Brandy and Aaron Kirkwood. Before we get into things today, we just wanted to let you know that this is the first episode to come out in December, and it is donation time over here at The Wheel Weaves. So for every patron that we have over at patreon.com/The Wheel Weaves podcast, we donate $1 to the Mayo Clinic in honor of Robert Jordan. At the time of recording, we have 86 patrons, and that means we're going to be donating $86 to the Mayo Clinic, and that is only possible because of our generous patrons. They make it possible, and we are so thankful for their support. In this episode, we're talking about the last two chapters of the Dragon Reborn, chapters 55 and 56.
Oh my god, we did it.
Sort of, yeah.
Well, you know.
We're not done it yet.
Okay. Hopefully the next 2 hours goes okay.
Yeah.
So, chapter 55, we have what is written in prophecy, and chapter 56 is People of the Dragon. So much to talk about.
Oh my gosh.
It's a very special episode.
Yes.
Because we are, completing 3 books of the Wheel of Time.
Yeah. And also, this is the last podcast we're going to record while I'm pregnant.
That's true.
We stuck to our schedule.
We did it.
I'm actually very impressed with us.
We are not known for this.
No.
It is not our strong suit. Yeah, there's a lot of times when we just procrastinate and then it doesn't get done.
And especially when I'm obviously not feeling well. Normally, we would not be recording when I sound like this.
Yeah, we would just skip it and push it.
We would skip it, we'd push it until I feel a little bit better.
But we got your parents coming in tomorrow.
No time!
Oh, no time.
There's no time. I feel like Moraine. There's no time!
No time to even explain. Oh my god, we gotta start talking.
Yeah.
It's also our 106th episode. I was counting, and the reason I say this is because a couple, 10... maybe 20 episodes ago, I was thinking to myself, oh man, for 100th episode, we need to do something special.
And we missed it.
We missed it, yeah, by 6 episodes.
Oh.
I didn't even know. And then I was just counting because I was like, oh man, we got to be close to 100.
That's usually something I keep track of.
We just went over it though, so. Because
when we did the fun fact trivia,
yeah,
we had done 91 episodes.
Yeah, we should have been paying attention to that.
Shoot.
Yeah, so happy 106th.
Woo.
We did it.
You know what? That's an even bigger accomplishment.
It is bigger than 100. 6 more, in fact.
Yes. Okay.
It's kind of crazy. One more fun fact for people, just in our universe of between me and you.
Uh-huh.
A long time ago, you and I had a deal where if I stopped biting my nails, you would try to read The Wheel of Time.
Yes.
And my whole deal was if you can just read the first 3 books, I promise you'll be hooked and you can do whatever you want to after those first 3 books. Give it a shot.
Right.
Now, we made that deal. I relapsed pretty hard a book ago.
You did relapse.
But since then, I have, in fact, stopped biting my nails.
And you're going to say that 100% on recording right now.
100%. I think I feel emotionally like I did it. Last time I didn't feel like I did it.
Okay.
I went 2 months or something without biting my nails. Because I've bit my nails 25 years.
Yeah.
For a long time.
Yeah.
But now I think I think I beat it.
Okay.
So you know what? It's kind of funny because giving up smoking was way easier than this.
You weren't ever a real smoker.
Well,
You were just a gross casual smoker.
I was 20, it was a long time ago.
When you were drunk, you would smoke, and I'd be like, don't do that.
Yeah.
That was it. And then you stopped.
It was a long time ago. A decade.
I want people to weigh in. What's actually
No,
tougher?
we don't have time. No time.
Okay.
No time. Okay.
Yeah, we actually do have quite a bit to talk about.
We do.
I have a lot of notes, so.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to nitpick this a little bit
I thought you might. So, let's get this started.
Yeah, okay, fun fact. And I got to bring it back to the statistics because I love stats on the Wheel of Time. So, here we go. In the book titled The Dragon Reborn, we have by far the fewest amount of Rand perspectives and percentage of the book.
In any of the books? or just so far?
So far.
Okay.
Not going to spoil that for you.
Okay, yeah, I thought that was a weird thing for you to tell me.
But, like, okay, so I brought up the stats so kind of, like, you can figure out how much less this is.
Okay.
So, in the Eye of the World, there were 44 of the 59 perspectives were Rand.
Yeah.
So that's 75% of the book, and he had 80% of the word count.
Yeah.
So, like, about on par.
Yeah.
The Great Hunt, he had 33 out of 81 perspectives, so about 41% of the viewpoints, but still over half of the word count.
Okay.
So it dropped.
Okay.
And then this one, in the Dragon Reborn, we've got 6 out of 75 perspectives are Rand, which is 8% of the viewpoints, but only
way less. Yeah.
2% of the word count is Rand.
I was going to say, because any time we actually saw Rand, it was literally a paragraph.
It was. 2% of this book is Rand in the book titled The Dragon Reborn.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's
and
about everybody else's perspective about the Dragon Reborn,
also,
except for Rand.
Seeing Rand and being like, that couldn't be Rand.
Oh, yeah.
Like, all the time.
I know, which we actually have to talk about in this chapter, too. It happened again.
It does.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny, too, because, like, when we started this book, you're like, I really hope we get to see a lot of Rand.
I did?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you said that at the beginning, because I laughed internally to myself.
You know what's funny? Is I was actually just thinking when you were talking, I'm really glad we didn't get a lot of Rand.
In his crazy brain.
Yeah.
It's going to get worse before it gets worse.
Yeah, I've heard.
So, okay.
All right. So, jumping in here, because last time, just like a bunch of shit went down.
Yeah.
That's basically my summary.
It was like snip snap all over the place,
too.
too.
Man, all over the place. So, let me just say, in the allegedly impenetrable stone of Tyr,
A lot of people are penetrating this stone.
everyone got in.
Everybody got in.
Literally everyone.
Yep.
Whether it is in the dream world or actually just like getting in. And also, I'm probably going to forget to say it later, so I'm going to say it now.
Sure.
How did Moraine get in?
That's a mystery for now.
It is a mystery.
Okay.
I think it's probably a mystery forever.
There's a thief gate, maybe.
I doubt it. Okay, anyway, so everyone got into the stone. Rand is running around in there aimlessly. It seems he's trying to find the heart, I guess.
Yeah, we've seen him.
Matt is on his way to rescue the girls. The girls are trapped in a cell.
Yep.
Perrin is in the dream world trying to rescue Fail.
Yes.
But Egwene is also... Did we leave her in the dream world? Or do we get that in this chapter?
I think... Oh, man, I don't even know. It's all blurred.
It's all blurred.
We've done
I've
so
read
much
it so
fast.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. They're all there.
Yeah, let's talk about Egwene when we get to Egwene.
Okay, so chapter 55, I actually had the title as Written in the Prophecies, but
no, that's not right, yeah.
What is written in prophecy?
That's correct.
But we get a new picture.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's the dragon.
It's the dragon.
Yeah, cool.
It's a dragon, but people in this universe don't know what it is.
No, it's like a serpent with legs with a lion's mane.
Yeah, they just know that it's a symbol for the dragon.
Dragon. So, we start out in Rand's point of view, which is cool, because we haven't got any Rand.
This is basically 1.8% of the 2%.
Yeah, and so he is in the heart of the stone, and we see Kalendor, and he wants this all over. He wants to know if he really is the Dragon Reborn.
Yeah, he's still fighting with that.
Yeah, and then a guy who is clearly Balal shows up and tells him to take it, but he calls him Luz Theron.
Yes, so that is going to be important.
Right.
Mainly for the fact that, like, the Forsaken know, like, the soul of LTT from 3,000 years ago.
Yeah, which we've
kind of seen that before.
Yeah, and we've definitely seen that from Lanfear.
We have.
100%. Because
Same. She's in love.
That's her lover.
Is it love?
No.
Okay.
Nope, I don't think it's love.
Power lust?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
But Rand recognizes this guy from his dreams, and in his dreams, he's capturing Egwene, Elaine, and Nynaeve and hurting them.
Yes. Now,
So-
it is important to note that Rand hasn't seen the perspectives we've seen of, like, Moraine and the girls and all that, where they figured out that this is Balal. He is still clueless on who this dude actually is.
He's like, hey, you're a bad guy from my dreams.
Who are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, which gives a hilarious response from Balal, but...
Yeah, and then this guy says that it is Rand's fault that he is hurting those girls because Rand made them useful by caring about them.
Yeah, that really is his fault.
Yeah, so Rand also came here too soon, and so now he has to die.
Yeah, and it's kind of tying back that whole thing where, like, Balal apparently, according to the dude in Camelin, like doesn't wait for his plans to come to fruition,
right?
Or like jumps
but
too
that's
soon.
not what Loyal had said about him.
Yeah, but Loyal's saying like the net weaver, he's is the good planner. At it. So it's just like, you know, it's a lot of internal competition, it seems, between the Forsaken.
Sounds that way.
Yeah.
And so it also turns out that he will use the girls and have them serve him. So that whole 13 Murdral thing.
Same.
It's a real thing that's gonna happen.
It seems that way.
And so Rand asks him who he is, and he gets a little annoyed that Rand doesn't remember anything, and he just calls him a country fool with a flute case.
Yeah, I find this personally hilarious because at first he's like, do you really not remember anything? And then we get that little side tangent about him talking about like, hey, did Ishamael tell the truth? We can probably assume about like
stupid you are.
Well, and about not remembering anything, right?
Yeah.
Like, does this new incarnation of LTT actually not remember his past life? Because all these Forsaken still remember everything because they haven't technically died.
Yeah, and
right?
Bilal seems to know that Baalzamon or Ishamael is known for not telling the truth.
He lies. He's
the father
lies.
of lies.
He's a liar.
Yeah.
But then I think that the reaction from Bilal when he's like announces himself and he's like, I'm Bilal, and Rand's like, what?
Yeah, he's like, you are?
And he gets pissed off because he's like, you should know me, but nobody knows you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So then he just tells Rand to take the sword now. But Rand's like, you know, I'm not going to be scared of some stupid little Forsaken. In case you don't know, I've already taken on Baalzamon himself. The Dark One.
Yeah, and that's the issue because, again, just like,
and
you know...
Bilal is like, oh man, you really don't know anything.
But that's just drilling it in, that Rand still firmly believes that Baalzamon is the actual physical Dark One.
Yeah, and in the next chapter, we get literally everyone thinks that. So,
yeah,
we'll
it's
talk
not
about
good.
it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it then. Okay.
Yeah. So, Bilal tells him to take it and fight, and he creates this black flame sword.
Yes.
But instead of taking Kalendor, Rand, like, conjures his red flame sword.
Yes.
And they start sword fighting.
They start lightsaber fighting.
Yeah.
This is literally a Jedi lightsaber.
No, that's lasers. These are flames.
Nah,
fire.
It's in my brain.
Fire swords.
Fire sword. Okay. I want like a, you know, Darth Maul.
No.
You know. No?
I'm not going to get it.
Okay.
Not for me.
Okay.
Nope.
But what we do learn from this, and Bilal's
Bilal
like...
is a Blades Master.
Well, we knew that from what Loyal said, too.
Oh, yeah, well.
Loyal tells us he's a Blade Master. But we also learned that the whole plan about, like, Bilal trying to make Rand take Kalendor, that's a thing, because everything he's, like, monologuing about is pushing Rand closer to try to take the sword.
Yeah.
He doesn't actually try to kill Rand. He keeps driving him closer and closer to the sword.
Yeah.
And is like, take it before I kill you.
Yeah, but Rand quickly realizes he is not good enough to fight this guy and gets way less confident.
Yeah.
And so, as they fight, Rand realizes that they're not alone anymore, and there are soldiers fighting shadowy, veiled figures all around them.
Yeah, before we jump into that sequence,
okay.
There's just one little piece here that I want you to look at for the history.
Oh, you are going to be so nitpicky.
Oh, I'm going to nitpick, but I think it's important.
Okay.
So, Bilal says, do you remember when we took the tame sport we called swords and learned to kill with it as the old volumes said men once had?
Ooh, okay.
Just reminding you that, like, in the Age of Legends,
People
is literally
didn't fight.
Like, it sounds like war and fighting and killing didn't exist.
Yeah.
They had to relearn how to kill people with swords.
Yeah.
And these guys
and
did that.
And it sounds like the sport of swords is something like, maybe like fencing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So they're like, oh, you can take this, like, sport and turn it lethal.
Yeah.
But it's like, Age of Legends was Age of Legends. It was, you know.
It was good time.
Good times.
Good times.
Then it went to bad times.
Then it went to bad.
Yeah.
And so this is when Rand realizes that there are Aiel fighting soldiers all around him.
Yeah.
But Rand sort of hardly notices them at all because he does notice that his wound that he got at Falma
you picked up on
has
that.
split open and he is bleeding.
Okay, so here's the thing. I pointed out last time when he was climbing the stones.
It was hurting, it wasn't torn open yet.
So if the physical toll of climbing the Stone of Tyr doesn't rip it open, but then fighting Bilal for a minute tears it open, there's something there.
Okay, I don't really get your point.
That's okay. Just that's okay.
Like, not even a little bit.
You don't have to. It's not going to make sense yet, but just, like, note it.
Okay, so Bilal is yelling at Rand to take Kalendor and defend himself, but then Moraine is all of a sudden there yelling, no!
Yeah.
And
Let's go,
Bilal is
Moraine.
like, hey, I thought you were out of the way already, puny woman.
Yeah, he's, again, monologuing like a good bad guy does.
Yeah, and then he's like, no matter, you're just an annoyance. I'll cage you with the others. And then Moraine just, like, steps forward and balefires his ass.
Yeah.
To nothing.
Let's cheer for Moraine.
The end.
It's so good.
It was, like, literally nothing.
Yeah.
No.
So, I love it. I love the fact that she
just evaporates the shit out of him, and
does.
everyone goes silent watching.
She takes out Bilal.
Yeah, just
It's
right
great.
now, like that, the end.
So, like, the one big question that I know, like, typically a lot of people have is, like, what? So, Moraine, we know, had this plan to attack Bilal, probably with balefire.
Yes.
She had that.
She said that. She did, yeah.
Yeah. Bilal set the trap. He thought she was caught in the trap because it, like, sprung
Yes.
on Fael.
Yeah.
But then Moraine, instead of, like, jumping out of the shadows and not, like, announcing herself and then walking, like, a fair distance across the chamber,
Yeah.
like, why didn't she just, like, jump out of nowhere and get him without, like, shouting?
That's way less dramatic.
It is way less dramatic. I mean, she knows how to be dramatic. It's
Yeah.
pretty great. She's
Yeah.
done the whole daft spinny thing.
Yeah.
You know? But it seems like it has a lot to do with distance. Same reason for the Darkhounds. She had to wait until they got close enough to actually do something.
Okay, yeah.
So here, she clearly isn't close enough when she probably wants to attack to save Rand.
Yeah.
So she has to, like, buy time to get closer while he's monologuing and then balefire him.
Sure.
So just to, like, make that make more sense.
Sure. I didn't question it, but...
I know some people did.
Yeah, okay.
I know some people do, so.
Okay. So, yeah, his ass is evaporated, and Moraine tells Rand that he does actually have to take Kalendor now, and he should do it now.
Definitely.
So, but then some shadows swirl around her, and she is lifted up and thrown into a column where she lays crumpled on the ground.
Oh no.
So much for Moraine's big, like, hero scene.
Except she killed Bilal.
Yeah, she did.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
She took out a Forsaken. Moraine killed a Forsaken.
In, like, 3 seconds.
3 seconds.
Yeah.
Maybe
Except
7.
another one just, like, immediately just, like, throws her like a rag doll
Yeah.
on the ground.
Because that's... So, Baalzamon
Yeah.
/ Ishamael
Yeah.
is hanging out on the roof.
Yeah.
Or, like, in the
Well,
ceiling.
In the shadows.
In the shadows above.
Right.
Basically is what's happening here.
Uh-huh.
And then he watches... And
he
then
waits for that to happen.
he does.
Yeah.
So that he doesn't get balefired, probably.
Probably.
And then he comes down afterwards. So it's just like, why was he watching up there, too?
I don't know. I didn't really see it like that.
You didn't? He just, like,
No.
appeared out of nowhere?
Yeah.
Okay.
He just, like, joined the fight.
Sure.
Out of the shadows.
You don't think he was, like, lurking?
No.
It's such a lurker
I
move.
didn't picture him hovering above them. I picture this all of a sudden now there's, like, a shadow and he's there.
So in the description of the book, though, it says Rand looks up to where the light, like, where the shadows come from, and Baalzamon is up there near the ceiling, and then he comes down to the ground floor.
Yeah, I thought that he, like, just, like, showed up. Like, I never really...
Yeah, he didn't instantaneously appear from what it sounds like.
Well,
It
I
sounds
don't
like he
know.
was up there.
Like, Murdral lurk in the shadow, and they just, like, show up from the shadows.
That's true.
So...
That's true. So, I mean, it's the whole interpretation here of events.
I just don't think I thought too much of it, because I gotta tell you, the majority of this chapter, I was just super confused the whole time.
Yes.
It was very
Yeah.
reminiscent of
the Eye of the World and the Great
and
Hunt.
then also the Great Hunt.
So it's the
It's
confusing
just like,
endings.
what the fuck is happening? Like, it's just like, okay, who's dead? Who's
Yeah.
unconscious? That's
like,
all
let's
that
do a
matters.
death count afterwards. and
Yeah.
It is, and it is confusing, and there's a whole bunch of dream stuff, but, like,
Okay.
we'll sort it out.
Uh-huh. So, whatever. The shadow turns into Baalzamon. Moraine is unconscious. And Baalzamon, turns out, is just sick of fighting Rand. He's sick of chasing Rand. And so now he's just gonna kill him.
Yep.
And so Baalzamon strikes at him. But then Rand leaps to grab Kalendor. And he gets it. And the crystal sword shines like blazing fire.
Okay.
And then Rand goes, "No way! I'm gonna get you now!"
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Baalzamon runs away like a little baby.
That's exactly what happens. So, okay. To break that down, first off, your whole theory about it takes a man and a woman, and Rand's
Yeah.
going to grab the Kalendor in a dream.
Was wrong.
All of that
I didn't,
crazy speculation.
You didn't have to point that out.
I'm just saying, but it does seem like it's literally Like, Rand is the Dragon Reborn, and that's why he can grab it, and all it needed was for him to be who he is.
Yeah.
No other...
Sword in the stone.
Sword in the stone, nothing else.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
Quite literally.
Very literally.
Yeah. So...
Before we move forward, when Baalzamon flees, and he, like, vanishes into the shadows, there's the sense of folding.
Yeah.
That's very reminiscent of the prologue of Dragonmount in The Eye of the World.
Uh-huh.
Because when we see him, it's like the whole air shimmers and ripples and solidifies, and then when he disappears, it's the exact same thing.
Okay.
But the way that Rand is doing it is he opens a doorway.
Yeah. He's like, I'm just going to make a doorway here out of the power, which is sort of, like, I have questions about this later.
Sure.
Because Egwene sees him or something, is it Perrin who sees him in the dream world?
Yeah, looking as if he's chasing someone.
Yeah, and so it's like, he's like sort of opened a door, but like to the dream world where Baalzamon is running away.
Yes.
Okay.
You figured it out.
Okay.
That's what's happening.
All right. So, yeah, Rand reaches out with the power through Kalendor, which we know is like a sangreal.
Yeah, it supercharges him.
Right. So he's just like twists reality to form a shape of a door and walks through it, and he goes, I'm the hunter now.
Yeah, he's chasing Ishii.
Good.
Yeah.
Go get him. So then we get a scene change.
We do.
To Egwene.
Yes.
And she is still in the dream world.
Okay.
So she started out.
Right.
She went there last chapter.
She did the whole, like, Joya thing.
And then she went to find the cells.
Yes.
So now she's trying to figure out how to get to the cells to help all of them break out. She notes that the stone shakes, but she keeps going.
Yes.
So that's probably, like, everything that's happening.
Yeah. There's like, theories on what it could be at this point.
Yeah.
It seems like there's an event, which might be, like, Rand grabbing Kalendor could cause shaking, but, like, why in the dream world is the stone shaking and, like, this happening?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's where we are.
So she makes it to the cells, and she sees Amiko sitting outside one of them on a bench. And she's sort of like flickering in and out, like she's drifting in and out of sleep.
Sleeping on guard duty.
Right, and dreaming of her guard duties while touching a stolen terangrial.
Yes.
So that's why she's flickering in and out of the dream world.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, handy for Egwene to like see her, because then she knows which cell it is and whatever. So she goes over, cuts the woman off from the power, even though that's harder to do once the flow has already started.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
We just keep getting these mentions of how powerful Egwene is.
She does seem to be, like, getting better, leveling up a bit.
Yeah, and just figuring stuff out. Like,
yeah.
She also traps Amiko in air. So that's, like, the go-to
she,
right
now.
She,
shields her and traps her in air and, like, holds her in the dream world.
Yeah. Sort of halfway, though. It
does seem like a 1 foot in, 1 foot out situation.
Yes, it does.
It's a very
she's
weird...
very, like, transparent.
And then on the flip side, once we see the map perspective, it's also like she's 1 foot in, 1 foot out. She's, like,
falling asleep, but, like, can't really stay awake. Like, it's weird. So, Egwene uses the earth power to break the lock, and she goes into the cell, but of course, Elaine and Nynaeve aren't there, because this is the dream world, and you have to dream yourself there.
And, like, who's going to be doing that?
Yeah.
Even if they could get to, like, Teleran Riyadh. So.
No. So she decides to go ahead and just step out of the dream.
And that's really important because...
It's interesting. She knows how to do that now.
She can do that. Yeah. I mean, that's the big point, is she can, like, step out when she chooses from what it seems. When she wants to exit, she exits.
When it seems like she'll just figure that out right now.
A little bit, yeah. Like, this is the first time I think that we've seen her... Mm-hmm. Do it or phrase it like that.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. So she wakes up and realizes that what happens to living things in the dream world are real in this world, but what you do to like objects is not real here. So the door is still closed and locked.
Yeah.
And they're also still sort of shielded from the power too, just like not all the way.
It's different.
Like, they can sort of grasp it, but they're still shielded.
Yeah, so unfortunately, for, like, all intents and purposes, they are still shielded.
Yeah, they can't channel.
Something's different, though. But, like, to the extent that it doesn't actually matter at this point.
Because the one who's blocking their channeling is shielded, but only in the dream world.
That's what it seems like.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of rules at play here that we don't fully understand.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
So Egwene says, I have to try again. She tries to go back to sleep and even asks Nynaeve to sing to her.
Yeah. Very sweet.
Yeah. Like, when you're really sick and tired, no matter how angry you are at someone, like, if I was really mad at you,
Yeah.
but I'm really under the weather and you're bringing me tea and you're like...
Yeah.
You know,
still care about the person,
sure,
even if you're mad.
You just are sort of like, okay, fine, you can cuddle me because I don't feel well. You know, that
yeah,
sort of
yeah,
thing.
Yeah.
Whereas if she was like full strength, feeling herself, you know,
there'd be more
of that
Okay.
animosity. Because right now Nynaeve is like concerned and
they're all
Egwene
trapped
is
in a
weak and
prison
tired
cell.
and
Yeah.
it's no time to be bickering and mad at each other.
Yeah.
Right?
Doesn't mean it can't pop up later.
And it will.
Probably.
100%. There's no way that's just gone.
They're not going to squash it in the prison cell?
No.
Okay.
No way, Jose.
Okay.
No.
Getting hopeful.
Okay, so we get a scene change, and we are in Matt's perspective.
Yep, here we go.
So, he and Sandar are heading to the cells, and get to one of the cells where there is a woman sitting all still and acting like she's bound by the power.
Yeah, something crazy's happening
and
to her.
Matt's like, this is weird.
So I gotta say, this entire perspective is like a big flip-flop between what's happening for the girls and for Matt.
Yeah.
And for Matt, it makes zero sense.
Yeah.
And for the girls, it like makes no sense for why Matt's here. It's just a very confusing from both sides.
It's great.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's good because Sandar recognizes her sitting there.
Yeah.
And so he tells Matt that she is an Aes Sedai and one of the ones he seeks.
Yeah, so this is big too.
And so Matt thinks that she looks half asleep and she really faintly says, "Help me."
It's such a weird situation because
Yeah.
she's like clearly not physically like bound in any way.
Yeah.
But Matt coming into this,
Like not by like ropes or anything.
yeah, so like
Yeah.
he just sees her sitting with like her head moving,
Yeah.
but nothing else, and she can't really like do anything else.
Yeah.
And he kind of gets that thought too, like he remembers Maureen throwing fireballs, and he thinks like, "Oh, can I deflect a fireball with my quarterstaff?"
Because that's what Aes Sedai do. They
Like-
throw fireballs.
No, you can't deflect a fireball with your quarterstaff, probably.
Probably
Like,
not.
in what universe is that going to work?
Yeah, no.
And Julian on the other side is like, "Oh my god, it's an Aes Sedai. She's going to blast us in oblivion here."
Yeah.
But Matt's going to go and like take the key off her belt.
He does anyway. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what he does because he's trying to figure out why she doesn't move, but he just like inches closer, takes the key from her belt. He's really confused, doesn't know what's going on.
And she's terrified too.
Yeah,
Because she's trapped half in the dream world.
and she also knows what Matt is doing and how much trouble she's going to get in
Yeah.
for like letting these prisoners just like be free.
Yeah. It's so good altogether. It's like all around. It's great.
Yeah, and so he unlocks the door and opens it, and he finds Nynaeve and Elaine super beaten up, and then he finds a really beaten up and unconscious Egwene laying
Who's
on
actually
the floor.
actually trying to sleep and like being.
Right, but he thinks she's dead,
Yep.
and
Which is fair because she's still like her face is all, messed up.
yeah,
So,
and Nynaeve is like, "Matrim Cawthon, what the fuck are you doing here?"
yeah.
He's like, "Saving your ass."
So, I gotta say something here.
Yeah.
In the Wheel of Time fandom, this is a gigantically controversial scene
Really?
for the reason that the girls never say thank you to Matt.
Uh-huh.
So, I just want to get your, feelings
I
for
know
things.
that he's really hurt about it.
He is.
And we get that next chapter too when
Yeah.
he's like,
It's still not
they're
settled.
treating me like crap when I'm the one who's come to rescue them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like this whole big thing about the girls don't really say thank you.
Yep.
And it's the whole question of like, do the girls need saving? But also recognizing that if Matt didn't do what he did, they'd still be trapped. But if Egwene didn't do what she did, Matt and Julian would be dead right now because Amiko would have blasted them.
That's true. I do think that probably they should thank him or at least acknowledge what he's done for them. Like
come to help.
He literally came to help. But I'm going to go off of what you say all the time.
Sure.
And that's people are flawed.
That is true. Do I say that? Probably.
Like, people and therefore characters should
Yes.
be flawed also.
Okay.
So even though they should acknowledge
Yeah.
and they should thank him, they are not without fault. They have been through a shit ton of stuff.
They have
And
been.
they're ready to just get out, and it doesn't cross their mind to thank him.
Yeah. And it's kind of funny too because like we're kind of a little bit but like not much happens here except for like the back and forth between like what are you doing here? Why don't you guys thank me? What are you doing here?
Yeah.
But like even Nynaeve at the last point, she's like, "Oh, you know what, Matt? You're right." But that's not saying thank you.
No.
That's just saying like you're right. It's kind of like those like half-assed apologies.
Yeah.
Where people like don't actually say I'm sorry.
They say I'm sorry, but.
I'm sorry. It's like everything that comes
I'm
before
sorry
but.
that I hurt your feelings.
But.
Yeah, but I'm not. But I'm not sorry about what I did or whatever it is. Right?
Yeah,
like,
and that's the whole point. But like whatever comes before the but doesn't actually matter.
Yeah,
So.
I think that they probably believe that if Matt didn't show up, they could have gotten out themselves. I don't really know how they would have. It would have taken a lot longer.
And they very well, like, could have.
Yeah, but I think that it just comes down to people in general being flawed and not saying things that they should say.
Yeah.
Because in the moment, you don't think about it.
Communication is important.
Communication is important, and people are bad at it.
People are.
Really bad.
Yeah.
So that's probably what it comes down to.
That's true.
But I get why he's upset. That
I do. Yeah, I do too. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Nynaeve is like, what are you doing here? He says, I come to rescue you, and he swears a bunch, and she says, watch your language. And he goes, well, there's a bunch of Aiel and defenders fighting in there, so, like, let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
And
we gotta go.
And he's like, if I have to carry Egwene, I will. But then they shake Egwene awake, and she's like, why did you wake me? I'm so close to understanding. And then she sees Matt, and is like, what are you doing here?
It's that same back and forth.
And then the girls see Sandar.
Yeah. So that's big still, too.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Because they're like, I betrayed them.
Well, there's still that same, like, old issue. Like, they know that Leandrin probably did something.
And he tries to apologize to them.
He does.
Actually, in this instance, is he's like, I'm sorry, I had to.
Yeah.
Right?
And then he gets the whole, like, well, Nynaeve's like, we can figure out who's to blame later.
Yeah.
So it's still not like that, okay, I forgive you situation.
Oh, definitely not. But Matt is just eager to get going. So they leave the cell and see Amiko sitting there who's, like, whimpering and says that she'll come back to the light, she'll obey them, she'll swear it, and Nynaeve punches her in the face.
Do you believe that Amiko, or is she just, like, saying whatever she has to?
I think she's saying whatever she has to.
Yeah, that's fair. Like, do you think she's actually changed?
Probably not.
It's like, do you change that fast? I don't know.
I don't know. But she's knocked out cold.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's so good.
And now the shield's gone.
Yeah,
So Nynaeve heals Elaine and Egwene. But I'm also thinking, like, does no one heal Nynaeve?
Well, we don't know that Egwene or Elaine actually know how to do healing properly. We don't know if they've actually learned that yet, because it does seem a little bit more complicated.
Okay, that's true. So anyway, so she doesn't get healing now anyway.
Yeah.
And Matt is like, what did you do that for? Like, she's sitting there not doing anything to anyone and thinks Nynaeve just, like, punched the shit out of a girl for no reason.
I mean, he could use his brain a little bit more, too. Like,
hey, Matt doesn't do that,
it's
though.
the woman sitting in front of the jail cell where the girls are kept. Like, he could probably put two and two together.
Yeah.
But I don't condone using the power on Matt.
Yeah.
Like, the way that they do.
Well, and it's not even clear which one does it.
Yeah.
Because Egwene says, like, you know nothing, and then Nynaeve says something else to him.
Yeah.
So it's, like, not even clear.
And since it's, like, Matt's perspective, who do you think did it?
I wrote probably Egwene.
Yeah?
She's the first one to be like, you know nothing, Matrim Cawthon, or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's why I thought it was her.
Okay. I could see Egwene or Nynaeve doing it.
Yeah.
Probably not Elaine.
No.
But definitely one of the other two.
Yeah.
So, also because they have that personal connection. Like, they know him a little bit better. So.
Yeah. I think that it's Egwene.
You're firm on that, okay.
I don't know.
No,
but,
that's good, that's good.
Yeah, but he basically just thinks, like, this is some thanks I get for rescuing you.
Yeah.
And so they put him down, and Nynaeve says that she means to find Leandrin, and Elaine wants to find Joya, and Matt is like, hey, crazies, there's a battle going on, and I'm leaving.
I want to go. Hey,
Yeah.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Did you notice when Egwene rummages in Amiko's pouch and takes something from Amiko's pouch and puts it in her own pouch?
No.
Okay, so Egwene rummages in Amiko's pouch.
She takes the Terangriel.
Is that what you think it is?
100%.
Okay.
Well,
we know she was like playing with
Toying
it.
with it, probably like
could have been in the pouch.
Could have been.
I just kind of imagine like a fanny pack.
Yeah.
You know, so like she could have a hand in her fanny pack.
Yeah, I don't picture a fanny pack even a little bit on an Aes Sedai.
I totally do. That's like
But
belt pouch.
That's your favorite?
Belt pouch fanny pack. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but yeah, Terengriel. Because
Okay.
she said, "I'm gonna take it from you," or something, didn't she? In the
I don't think she talked to Amiko very much, did she?
Oh no, it was Joya who told Egwene, "I'm gonna take your Terengriel from you."
Yeah, I don't think Amiko and Egwene really communicated very much.
Right, but Egwene does note that Amiko is sort of fidgeting with a Terengriel.
Yeah.
Like she knows about it.
Yeah, so like that's the question is it the Terengriel
And it's
that
clearly
she took?
like a dream world thing,
So-
which Egwene really wants to understand.
Yeah,
So it makes sense to me that she took it.
and now she's got 2, if that's what she took.
Right.
Yeah.
2 that basically no one knows she has.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
It's very Corianne and Nadil of her.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Well, I think that there's something to these,
Mm-hmm.
drawing her to them. So,
There is that too.
but yeah, they basically just ignore him.
Yeah.
And walk away from him, and he's like, yeah! He wants to get out of here, but he hasn't come this far to just, like, let them go get killed.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So, he follows them, but they're already too far ahead, and he just decides to keep going after them.
Yeah, he's got to
Anyway.
run to catch up. So.
Yeah, just follow the trail of men hanging in the air.
Yeah, it's
That's
like
what he says.
yeah, I wonder if they kill anybody.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Or if they can just, like, literally wrap people in air the entire way.
Yeah, I mean that's possible too, right?
Yeah.
So, okay.
All right. So we get a scene change because we're snip-snapping all over the place.
Definitely.
And we are now with Perrin.
We get to see what happens.
Yeah, and we missed some stuff, though.
A little bit.
Because he's wandering around the stone trying to find Fail, and we get that he has rescued her twice already.
Yes.
Twice more than we've already seen.
Yes.
So 3 times, I guess.
Yeah.
And both times she melted into the air after saying his name.
Yes. And it seems interesting that like the first 3 times he rescues her, it's like her physical body.
Yeah.
And the last time is different.
It is not.
Yeah.
Because Hopper is still there too, and he is like leading him around. So Perrin thinks that maybe he sees Rand at some point, but then he thinks, well, that couldn't be him.
But it is, and it seems like Rand is in the world of dreams too.
Yeah. That's sort of what I gathered.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it makes sense.
Yeah. So I just found this really funny that Perrin, and maybe he's just really preoccupied with everything else he's doing. Like, it makes sense that if Matt saw Rand and he's just sort of like, that doesn't make sense. Why would he be here? Or if like Nynaeve
Sure.
thinks she sees him and she's like, oh, he's all the way at Almoth Plain. But Perrin knows Rand is in Tyr, and he knows that he's coming for Kalendor. Like, these are things he knows, but like maybe he's just wrapped up in what he's doing.
Well, the big question is why is he in the world of dreams where Perrin is?
Ugh.
And that's the big question. It's not that he's in Tyr, it's that why is he in like the wolf dream?
Oh, maybe.
Because Perrin still sees this as the wolf dream. He's still not sure that this is actually like Teleran Riyadh, the
I
world
think
of
that
dreams.
he knows because that's where Fail went. So
Yeah,
and
but
he's
like
found her there. I
yeah.
don't know. I don't buy that he thinks that those are 2 separate things now.
Okay, he just wasn't 100%
Okay,
sure
it's still
last time we saw him.
Still. So Perrin is now running to keep up with Hopper, but he like trips and falls and feels weakness wash through him. And Hopper says, uh-oh,
Here too strongly.
you're here too strongly. Soon flesh and dream will die together.
Yeah, makes sense.
Bad.
Yeah.
So Perrin just tells him, find her. That's all I ask.
That's all he wants to do is rescue the Falcon.
Yeah. So they get to this room, and when Perrin opens the door, there's like tons of tiny falcons all flying around.
That's what it seems like, yeah.
Yeah. And then there's one falcon chained to a perch.
Yep.
And he goes towards it, but then all the falcons start flying at him and scratch him with their talons.
Yeah, yep.
And now I have prepared a shot.
Okay.
Now, do you get it? Do you
Now I
get
get it. Okay, so before we started this episode, I said we should get some shots,
To
and you're like,
cheers Yeah.
Well, I said because we should cheers the last episode. You said I got a Harry Potter reference, and I was very confused.
Well,
I was like,
said,
I don't
what's your reference? And you
Yeah.
said, no, we should just cheers to finishing the third book. And I
Yeah.
said, oh, well, I have a reference.
Okay, and I actually...
And you were like, I don't know Harry Potter very well.
I didn't connect this at
Yeah.
all until you just, like, described it the way you described it.
Yeah.
So this is... Let me get this right.
Yeah.
In the first Harry Potter...
Yeah.
They're in, like, that weird basement where there's, like, a bunch of
Yeah.
traps they have to go through to get to Voldemort for whatever reason, for no reason.
No, for the Philosopher's Stone.
Right, because it's hidden behind the traps, and then one of them
Yeah.
is like the little...
Or Sorcerer's Stone, depending on if you're in the States. But it's
Yeah.
Philosopher's Stone
Yeah.
for all intents and purposes.
But they're like keys or something?
They're keys.
Flying keys.
Flying keys.
That like attack Harry.
That attack Harry.
And like scratch him up real bad.
They scratch him up.
Okay.
Because he has to find the right key that opens the door on the other side of the room.
Oh, see, that's different because
Slightly different.
Yeah, he doesn't have to find the right falcon to get the falcon.
See? Totally different.
Totally original.
Yeah.
Okay.
Flying key room.
Flying key room. I love it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey.
That's totally exactly what this is. I'm sorry. Like, that is like, I can't believe you didn't think of that.
I honestly did not even connect the dots on that one. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, shots are prepared.
Yeah.
And, you said you better grab some shot glasses. That's
yeah,
how this
and you got the
started.
two most plain Jane
Okay,
shot glasses
but-
that I ever seen.
Okay, but I have to tell you.
It's blue and red. Or purple? Okay.
Did you say plurple? You said plurple. Oh, you haven't even had the shot yet.
I know. Okay.
Okay. I don't think we have used these shot glasses before.
No, we for sure haven't. Because they're so boring.
Because we have a set of these 6 tall shot glasses, and the bottoms of all the shot glasses are different color glass.
Really?
Yeah, we have a set of them.
This is news to me.
And we haven't used them.
Oh man, you're right too.
And so I thought it would be interesting for us to use shot glasses we haven't used yet.
Hey, that is fun.
Because
okay.
I looked at our collection and I just thought, man,
we went through them all so fast. I always used to think we had so many, but do 100 episodes and like
there you go.
Not so many.
There you go. Okay.
106 episodes.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Also, that is the last non-alcoholic shot
That's true.
I'm going to do
That's so fun.
for this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, cool.
Hey.
Cool then. Are you okay?
Yep. That was a big one.
It was a big one.
Yeah.
I did that for you. Okay, so flying key room and flying tiny falcons aside,
Yeah.
Perrin just ignores all the falcons that are just like going to town on him, and the falcon that is chained to the perch has a tiny lock on the chain.
Yes, it does.
That is a tiny little hedgehog.
Fantastic.
Which sounds adorable.
It does, but it's super evil.
Oh.
Well, okay, no.
It's holding her there.
It's not evil. This inanimate object is not evil.
Right.
The trap itself was set by bad people.
Bad guys.
The hedgehog is not evil.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. You just had to throw that out there.
I did. I don't want to,
Okay. Anger the hedgehogs? The hedgehog fans?
The fans of hedgehogs.
Okay. All right. So, while ignoring these falcons that are tearing at his skin, he breaks the chain and the lock, and he wakes up in the dining room at the Star Inn.
Yes.
And Fael is awake beside him, too.
Yeah.
Turns out all his scratches are real, and he's covered in blood.
And she's, like, mopping up the blood.
And she's like, my poor Perrin, my poor blacksmith, you are so hurt.
Yeah.
So
it's
she
pretty...
just so loves him.
And then what does he say?
And then he says, he sees the wood... Well, first he sees the wooden hedgehog on the floor broken in half. And he whispers to her, Fael, my falcon.
Oh, it's so sweet.
Oh, it is actually quite sweet.
Oh, of course it is,
They
yeah.
love each other. So cute.
But also, like, he recognizes her now as she's the falcon.
Yes.
The first, like, 3 images were, like, her.
Yeah.
The last one's the falcon as that
and
was
that's
the
what
real one.
rescued her. So
You know? It is pretty touching.
it's pretty cute. Like, who would have thought Perrin is, like, the first to, like, fall in love?
Hey, okay.
Yeah. Although I think
we're gonna have to revisit that "who has sex first" question.
I know. Well, I really thought that scene in
in Perrin.
I know. Well, that scene in the smithy. That's what I was thinking. Like, oh my gosh, I was so wrong.
Yeah.
I thought Perrin was gonna be like a virgin forever.
Turns out,
probably not.
Doesn't sound like that's gonna happen.
Yeah. No. And I don't think Perrin fell in love first. I think Min is already in love with Rand.
Who's talking about falling in love?
I just did.
Oh, I'm not talking about love.
Well, no, I know you're not. I'm just saying that they clearly now have this bond and connection and love each other. Like, they are clearly, like, they fell for each other. They've been hanging out. Like,
I'm going to put a big asterisk beside that because we know that Min... Okay, well, actually, we might have got some lovey feelings from Min.
100%. And
Min
I think...
knew that she was supposed to, like, fall in love with Rand because of her, like, visions.
I think that she knew some, like, fun stuff was going to go down with Rand.
Rand's a good-looking dude, too, so.
Well, they say that.
It doesn't hurt.
Yeah. But, yeah, I would say that Min probably has lovey feelings, but Rand is not... Like, this is the first reciprocal lovey relationship. Like, an actual love interest that we've seen.
Okay, that's fair.
In 3 books, which is actually quite interesting, I think.
Nynaeve Lan, okay.
Oh, Nynaeve Lan, that was... Oh, it's so pathetic. That's the worst one.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
So far, anyway. Oh. It's just like, it's
okay.
slow burning.
Yeah.
That it's... Like, I don't even know. Do they even...
Oh, we can't be together. Oh, but we need to. Oh, but we can't.
Oh, but I'm going to name my horse Gaiden. Like, come on.
Oh, okay.
There's got to be something more here. Like, this was, like, emotional connection.
Yeah.
Not like, I named my horse after you because I miss you.
Hey, I would name my horse after you.
No, you would not.
No, not
that
even.
Would be really... not a great thing for you to do. I feel like that would be insulted if you named your horse after me.
Probably a little bit, so.
Okay. So we get a scene change. We don't really get to see how that ends at all. And now we're back with Rand.
We are. Hey, totally.
Full circle.
Totally not crazy Rand.
A more confident Rand.
That's true.
Because, like, when he was fighting Bilal, he was very... not sure of himself.
Now he's got Calendor.
And now he's like...
one of the most powerful Sa'angreal they ever made.
Ever. Okay. So he is still in the heart of the stone, but it's different. And he can hear gongs, like, ringing out. But there's no men fighting here.
Yes, so we know that he's in...
Dreamworld.
Dreamworld.
So then there's, like, a fire beam. But it's actually described as a blazing shaft.
What?
Being shot at him?
Do you not like the word shaft?
It's just not my favorite.
It's descriptive.
It's
I know what they're talking about.
It certainly is. But, like, fire beam works.
Yeah. But it's balefire again.
Yeah, it is. But it's being shot at him from the shadows.
Yep.
So, Baalzamon clearly doesn't have a problem with distance. Like, more... if that's what your argument is...
Well, do you think that Baalzamon and Maureen are of similar strength?
No, I'm just saying he doesn't have the same issue. That's what I'm pointing out.
There's probably a strength thing going on there too.
Probably. That's literally what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
No.
I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying.
No, I'm just saying.
No, I'm just saying.
No,
okay.
I'm just saying.
Okay, you're just saying.
Okay. So, Rand instinctively deflects it with Calendor, which is cool that you can
Very cool, yeah.
deflect balefire.
With the sword.
Yeah.
That's not a sword, okay, we get it.
I don't know why it's not a sword. It looks like a sword to me.
Well, it's a sword that's not a sword. It's a Sa'angreal.
Yeah, but it's a sword.
It's not... Okay. Jeez, semantics here. Okay.
So, the whole place, like, shakes, and the columns fall down around him, and the light is being shot at him, and it stops. So, Rand can hear boots running away.
Yeah.
And
so,
he knows it's Baalzamon, so he follows.
Yeah, so to simplify, like, the next 17 pages, roughly.
Yeah, there's a lot.
This is the start of, like, the Rand versus Ishamael run through the stone in the Dream World sequence.
And Baalzamon is clearly just, like, setting a bunch of, like, traps behind him.
He's doing, hardcore obstacle course.
He's doing his Baalzamon...
Yeah.
scary in the dream world things.
That is what he's doing.
This is what he's been doing to
It's
Rand
like
this
trap,
entire book.
Trap.
Yeah.
Trying to like capture.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of Fades and Trollocs that appear, but Rand somehow makes them all vanish.
Yep.
Then flames come up from the floor in front of him, and the air is all full of soot. And right now we get that he has so much power surging through him, but he continues to run after Baalzamon. Rand realizes that this time one of them must die.
Yeah, and I want to draw your attention to one of the important lines, is because it does seem like he's using a ton of the one power.
Yeah.
Like, more so than he ever has before.
Yeah.
And if you think about, like, how Moraine was affected with her Angreal, like, this is one of the most powerful Angreal ever made.
Uh-huh.
So, comparatively, it's, like, way more.
But we know that Rand is, like, crazy strong.
We do know that, but then one line, it says, dimly within him was the surety that holding Kalendor, he could do anything, period, anything.
Whoa.
So, like, it's just, like, the next level of what Rand thinks he can do with Kalendor.
Okay. So, Rand runs in pursuit of Baalzamon, and he gets through all these traps that are being set for him.
It reminds me of, like, Super Mario levels. Like, the water level,
yeah.
and, like, the, flame levels, and, like...
Sure, yeah.
Just, like, imagine a little Rand jumping over stuff.
Sure.
Crushing mushroom dudes.
Do. Yeah.
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
As a child, because I had, like, the original...
Yeah, sure.
I was always afraid of, like, the castle levels because of the music.
Oh,
as a child,
it is scary.
that music was terrifying
with
to me.
The fire swirlers.
But it was the music, and I never wanted to play the castle levels because
it's so creepy.
It frightened me. It was terrifying.
I know what you're talking about exactly.
Okay.
I can hear it in my head.
Yeah.
So that's really funny. So they both get back into the heart of the stone, but like in the dream world. Okay, so Baalzamon is backing away from him and yelling about how he can't be undone and he won't be destroyed. And then Rand says, "You are destroyed, you are undone." And then stabs him in the chest with Kalendor. Got him.
Yeah, okay. Hold on.
No, that's all that happens.
No.
No.
No. But there's like one really important thing. We see again with Baalzamon, there's the black lines running from him into the darkness, vanishing into unimaginable heights and distances. And we had that exact phrasing of unimaginable heights once before in the Egwene Dream, chapter 37, where there was women playing with puppets, strings led to bigger and bigger puppets, until the last strings vanished into unimaginable heights. So it seems like everybody's being controlled from way, way, way above by the Dark One.
Sure.
That is kind of like what makes most logical sense.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Think of it like a gigantic,
puppet, marionette.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. So basically, Baalzamon sort of evaporates, but his body's left behind.
Yeah.
And then Rand is back in the heart of the stone where the Aiel are fighting and where Moraine is still laying unconscious. And he's like back in...
Real world.
Yeah. Except that Baalzamon's body is still laying at his feet.
That's huge.
And he thinks about how he has done it.
He did it. He won. I've won.
I've defeated the Dark One, and I've just won the last battle.
I did it. The series is over. Finally.
I said, okay, Rand.
Oh, no. But this is huge, though, because, like, previously, when Rand thought that he killed Baalzamon, being the Dark One in the previous books, he never had, like, a body as evidence.
Yeah.
And now this time, he's got, like, a person body lying at his feet.
Yeah.
Which, again, we're going to talk about this next chapter.
And the eyes and the mouth are, like, smoking as if the fire's gone out.
Oh, man. So, like, it's a lot more for Rand's perspective to, like, say that I actually did it this time.
Yeah, I would say, if I have to make a prediction and you're going to make me, that this is actually Ishamael, the Forsaken.
I wasn't going to make you make a prediction.
And I'm going to say...
I kind of feel like it's obvious at this point.
No. My prediction is that guy's dead. I think that this time he actually did kill Ishamael, but again, he thinks it's Baalzamon.
Well, yeah.
Well, no, it's not necessarily...
He's got a dead body in front of him.
No, I know he has a physical body, but I don't know if Baalzamon / Ishamael is more than that, because there have been 2 other instances where Rand has, like, got him in the chest with a with his sword staff.
That is true,
and
yeah.
there's been times where he got him in the head or face or something. I don't remember.
This time is unique because it is Kalendor,
Yes.
and there is a body.
There is a body.
So, like...
But there is a slight chance, like, that I feel...
Sure.
That Ishmael isn't 100% dead.
How?
Because of both times that...
Yeah. But it's so different this... okay.
I actually don't see how it's different. It literally... Except for the fact that there's a physical body.
Yeah.
But I don't know what Forsaken are, number one.
Okay,
like,
that's
I feel
fair.
like you forget that I literally don't know anything.
No, I do.
So,
I do forget that often.
Yeah.
So, okay.
So I don't know what Forsaken are.
Yeah.
Or, like, I don't know, the heroes all just, like... From the Horn last book, all just, like, came out of nowhere from Nowhere Land.
Okay.
But they don't have physical bodies, but they could probably have them.
You know, that's a good point. Okay.
So, like, just because there's a body here...
Doesn't
exactly equate, and for you to assume that I thought... I don't know, like, I just...
Yeah. No, that's a very good point. So it's, like, potentially could Baal-Zaman / Ishmael be now in, like...
The Dream World?
The Dream World? Like, I'm just thinking of the whole Hopper thing where he dies and goes and it's the wolf dream.
Well, exactly, right? Like,
So,
and it could be... But my prediction is that he's dead. He's gone.
They got him.
They got him.
Okay. Okay, that's good. That's like a whole...
But Rand, again, is like, once again...
You were, like, thinking, like, 3 steps ahead here, where it's like, it just seems like he's dead, and you're like, what if he's not dead? But then he is dead, so it's like, 1, 2, 3... Bing,
but
bing,
he's
boom.
dead.
He's dead.
That's my prediction. But I could see how there could be an argument that, like, maybe I'm still expecting him to come back in some way, because he's been the main villain.
He has been, yeah.
And so, but now there's others.
I don't want to go ahead and remind you that we've got a lot of Forsaken left.
I know.
We got to kill, like, 1 per book to, like, finish them all off. So, like...
At least, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do want to point out one thing before we continue, though. So, as Ishii was monologuing again, as any good villain does, he says, I will not be undone, I cannot be defeated, and then he calls out, aid me. And when he calls out, aid me, some of the darkness shrouding him drifts
like
into his hands.
A-I-D, like help?
Like, help me.
Okay.
So he calls out, help me, and then some of the darkness that was shrouding him drifts into his hand, kind of like a mini dark force, like fireball. Yeah, and then there's sudden triumph blazing in the flames in his eyes. So he calls out for help, and it seems like he gets something in return, but not fast enough before Rand can stab
him with Kalendor.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's just like something to note there.
Okay. See, that's just another thing that makes me think, well, what did he just get?
Yeah.
And there's the whole, like, father of the grave thing, and how they don't actually die. So there's, like, I don't know, there's, like, all these other things that have been mentioned that have never been explained.
Yeah.
So, like, I literally don't know anything.
I mean, and we don't have much, like, information on that.
This was all very, very confusing.
You know what?
I have to say.
In, like, 5 years, it'll make a lot more sense.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I can't wait for our podcast reread about us rereading The Wheel of Time.
Yeah. Okay, we'll see. So, let's get through this chapter here, though, first, because
it doesn't end. It never ends.
We're never going to finish this episode. Okay.
This is the chapter.
Okay. So, we're back to Rand going... I did it! I
killed Shaitan.
I won the last battle!
It's so good.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
But it's like literally stupid Rand at the end of every book says, I killed the Dark One! And it's like, no.
He's like an early adult out of the Two Rivers, doesn't know anything.
Okay. So he yells out for the fighting to stop and then yells out, I'm Rand al'Thor, Dragon Reborn! And all the Aiel and soldiers kneel down, crying out, the dragon is reborn!
Okay, this is such a cool scene.
Yeah, it's good.
Like, it's so good.
Except that Rand is so stupid.
Okay, granted, he's kind of an idiot because he thinks he just won the last battle.
Yeah.
It's like the last battle probably doesn't take place in the Stone of Tyr.
And it's not just, and the whole last battle is you just like stabbing him and that's it?
That's it. That's all you gotta do. You win.
It's you pursuing him through hallways and then...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, that's the whole point. But it is very, very cool that it's like Aiel and Defenders, everyone kneels, and they recognize him as the Dragon Reborn. Like, we have a dragon now.
Well, he took Kalendor.
He did
Everyone
it.
in Tyr, especially everyone in Tyr, knows that. And then
Like-
the fact that the, quote, stone of Tyr has fallen,
Yeah.
the Aiel know that this is he who comes with the dawn,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because
Well,
this is clearly
cool,
an
yeah.
Aiel who they don't know,
yeah.
right?
So there's like a
So-
whole bunch. There's like another layer we can talk about. We'll get
Yeah.
into it later, but like, yeah, it does seem from the next chapter that does seem.
Yeah, well, this also is sort of like it's taken all this time, but at the end of the Great Hunt, when he proclaims himself as the dragon over the Watchers
Yeah.
in Tom and Head, like that's another prophecy that people over in Tom and Head know about
Yeah.
and saw, and they're like, well, shit,
Makes sense. And now
that's
people
the
in
Dragon
Tyr.
Reborn. And so, like,
But I will note that like in Falma, he didn't actually like he wasn't the one who was like, I'm the dragon.
well, he sort of agreed to let the dragon banner fly.
Yeah, I never heard the words out of his mouth until just now. So,
Yeah.
but it's important because Rand
This
himself,
entire book is like, I'll know if I'm the Dragon Reborn if I can take Kalendor.
and now we have Rand recognizing him. He's calling himself
Yes,
the Dragon Reborn.
he certainly is.
That's a big step.
Okay, let's get into the next chapter.
Let's do it. Okay.
Okay, so People of the Dragon,
Oh man. Okay.
wheelie snake picture.
Yeah.
Okay, so everyone all over Tyr is waking up talking about dreams where they saw the dragon defeat Beelzemon, and they see the dragon banner flying over the stone of Tyr.
Yeah, there's a reason why Maureen had it.
And you want yeah, exactly.
And we talked about it, and I
Yeah.
mentioned that hey, she still has it.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay. So everyone is shouting, Althor, the dragon!
Very cool.
Hooray.
Yeah.
Okay. So Matt is still in the stone.
Oh, because we get a map perspective.
We get a map perspective.
That was a narrator perspective.
That was a narrator.
Technically.
Technically.
Okay.
Matt's still in the stone. He's looking out of an arrow slit at all of this going on and thinks, well, maybe he is.
I gotta say, he's really close to believing that Rand is actually the Dragon Reborn.
Yeah.
Close. Not,
Maybe.
not quite there yet.
Maybe.
Very close.
So Matt saw Rand once since all this went down.
Which I gotta say, this scene very. It's like all my like childhoodness is coming out.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Okay. So Rand is walking through the hall with Kalendor in his hand, being followed by Aiel, Defender soldiers, and the surviving High Lords. And the High Lords are like, hey, you're gonna need us to help you rule, right?
They're a bunch of like rich folk
Yeah.
who think they're important still. So,
Yeah.
but like the cool part is the Aiel are like forming the ring around him
Yeah.
as like his own personal little,
Sure.
and then everyone else is trailing behind.
Sure.
Love it.
Okay. So Matt is in some big room with Ruark,
Yes.
Moraine, Elaine, Egwene, and Nynaeve.
Yep.
Ruark is reading some book,
Yep.
and Matt finds it interesting that Aiel know how to read.
And it's like back at you, Matt.
Yeah.
Like we're also, but we do know like who's allowed into the waste.
No one.
No, that's not
I
true.
don't know. What are you getting at? Tinkers?
Well, no. Well, yeah, tinkers are technically, but also like merchants are allowed in,
Uh-huh.
so they can like buy stuff and like books. So it's like, why would Aiel not be able,
I don't
to
know.
read?
Matt's just an idiot.
That's true. That's what I'm saying. Back at you, Matt.
Okay,
Like,
yeah. So we get that Matt tried to ask Avienda for a dance, and apparently
Other than like a
That-
dance,
yeah.
but like a dance.
apparently that didn't go well. So also we get that was her on the roof, because we never got confirmation that the female voice was her back in that other chapter, I guess. But
Was it?
well, I don't know. Why is he just asking her for a dance now? Because before he was thinking about the female who had a spear at his throat and how he wanted to ask her for a proper dance or something like that.
Oh yeah, I could read that. That's like a different
Yeah.
interpretation. It's either like he is again found Avienda after the fact and
Yeah.
like asked her to see if there's
Well,
any
he
other dances.
does seem to be
That's a different
a
interpretation
little-
because
a little woman crazy.
so it's
why
Matt.
is he just asking everyone out? I don't
It's
know.
Matt. They're all beautiful women,
Okay.
and Matt's a single guy. He's not tied
Okay,
down.
and
so.
now I know
Okay.
you're going to talk about this next reference.
Yeah, I do. I got it.
because
I got to discuss the issue that's like
you got to
prevalent.
discuss the issue because this is one of the most hot button debated topics
Yeah.
that you have ever brought up
So far.
so far.
We got a lot of books left, people.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
let's talk about it.
we get a reference to Bane and Chiad.
Yeah.
Basically being in a relationship with each other.
Yes.
And the Aiel laughing at Matt.
Yeah.
Trying to hit on either one of them.
Yeah, so here's the thing. So, like, first off, your interpretation of, like, that being Avienda on the roof, that's cool, because, like, you could read it as in, like, he's referencing that old point, or it's like he's going through all the, like, the hot Aiel women to try and, like, hook up, basically.
Yeah.
And it, like, didn't work with the Avienda, so now he's trying with, like, Bane and or Chiad, but he can't get them alone, and all the male Aiel find it, like, a really funny topic that he's trying to get one of them when we've already heard from their own mouths that they don't take a man without the other one.
Yeah.
So this was like the big issue. When I previously in that first chapter stated that Bane and Chiad are married.
Yes.
Apparently, I've been told that it's not actually canon that they are married, and that in the reading of what they said when they're married to the spear, not to each other.
Yeah.
Now, just for the record, as of the recording right now, I have not been convinced that I'm wrong. I still believe that I'm right in the fact that they are married, but it's basically like a whole technical issue of are they actually like married under the Aiel customs or are they not? Like it's pretty obvious they're a couple, but it's just like to what extent. So I will grant that, and I do think it's important to like if I am wrong, I'll admit it. I just haven't quite been convinced yet. So I still think they are married.
I think in the way you described it to me, it made me believe that they're married because they went and took the oaths, not the oaths of being wedded to the spear, but they were confused specifically about Egwene and Elaine.
Is the whole first sisters
and they
thing.
were like, if you feel like you're first sisters, why don't you go ahead and go take the oaths in front of your wise women? And that seems like marriage vows to me. Like if you want to if you feel like you're married, go get married. Like that's what it sounded like to me.
Yeah.
So I agree with you, but
I know. Yeah. So there's more layers to it as we are going to uncover more about Aiel culture. So like
it's clear at least from this sentence this chapter that they're in a relationship together.
Yeah. So it's like without a question they're in a relationship. It's the technical question: are they actually married? I say yes. Other people disagree with me. It seems like that's okay.
It's interesting. It's because in Aiel culture, they can't take a husband or be with a man or have a child if they're maidens of the spear.
True.
And this seems like a loophole.
It does. It seems like a big, gigantic, huge, gaping hole that is exactly the kind of thing that, you know, Robert Jordan would write.
Yeah.
So, like... But, I mean, there's other things we can talk about.
Yeah.
But regardless of whether they are or not technically married, it doesn't really change the story. So I don't want to worry too much about it.
Okay. Because Matt just goes, Aiel women are odd. More odd than regular women.
Oh, man. And regular women are very confusing. So it's like, I get that. I feel that. So.
Okay. So let's move on then.
Yeah.
And because this will upset more people.
That's okay. Sure. Join the Discord. Join the chat. I love it.
Yeah, I know.
Some days I don't have anything better to do. Some days I have a job. So.
Yeah. So the women are all sitting around a table, and Nynaeve asks about Perrin and wants to know if he's all right and is so surprised he's in tear.
I love how cheeky Maureen is about this, too.
Yeah. Well, Matt's surprised that Perrin wasn't fighting in the stone last night because he's always been the bravest.
Yeah.
Turns out.
Yeah.
But yeah, Maureen's cheeky and says Perrin was safe when she last left him.
It's like, okay, Maureen.
But his companion was in danger, and he might have put himself in that danger.
Yeah, so, he has a companion now.
Yeah, and quote, might have.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. Like, he told you he was going to.
Yeah.
So, Egwene and Nynaeve have more questions about this, and Maureen's like, that's not for you to know now.
Especially when you phrase it like that, though.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, yeah.
Of course they're going to be worried.
Yeah. But then she goes, I want to show you something. And she pulls out the Coendiar.
Yeah.
I haven't had to say that word in a while.
Yeah.
Seal.
Yep.
Out of her pouch. Except that this time, it's not broken.
Hey, that's positive.
Hey.
We did it, guys. We did it.
And where the hell did it come from? Is it the fisherman? Was it one of the plates?
No, so
That was what my prediction was.
Maureen tells us where she gets it.
Oh, does she? I missed that.
She was rummaging through all the Terangriel because we know Tyr has a gigantic stash of Terangriel.
Oh, I remember
Huge.
this.
And she found one of the seals for the Dark One's prison in the stash of Terangriel.
Okay.
I have a more important question for you.
Yeah.
Moraine was clearly rummaging through a stash of Terangriel that the White Tower has never been able to lay their hands on.
Yeah.
What, if anything, did she swipe?
All of it.
Because I didn't hear no oath about not stealing, so...
That's true.
You know.
She for sure took something or some things.
Okay.
She has to leave most of it because obviously...
Like, what can you actually physically carry? But it's
there's obviously, gonna be word that the stone has fallen, and there's going to be...
Load this shit up
and get it back to the White Tower.
Or whatever, like, let's drag it off.
Yeah. And so, obviously... It's well known that there's this collection here, so she can't just take it all.
But no one knows what's here.
What's there.
And
so she certainly can take some things.
We also know that her Angreal that she originally took, to Emond's Field, was not something she was supposed to necessarily have.
Right.
So it's you're gonna tell me that Maureen doesn't dip her hands into the honey pot here a little bit.
Of course. I bet we'll find out, but of course. Okay, so at this point, the women start discussing basically the ramifications of this seal not being broken. Is it important? Is it not important? And then Matt speaks up and is like, this is so boring, who cares?
But it's come on, man, it's a seals for the Dark One's prison.
Yeah, it's really fucking important.
Of course it's important.
But he's like, I have a question about the prophecies of the dragon being fulfilled.
Yeah, none of this makes sense.
Yeah. There were supposed to be the people of the dragon here, and he wants to know if that's us. Are we the people of the dragon? Are these stupid couple hundred Aiel are the people of the dragon?
Is it us? But that's a valid question. It's it's a huge thing in prophecy. That, if you remember, is why Logain named his people the people of the dragon to try and...
Which I never thought was a very cool name.
Force push the people of the dragon?
Yeah.
It's gonna get cool.
I don't know.
I'm gonna make sure that you believe by the end of this, it's cool.
I'm just gonna dig my heels in and be like, nope.
I'm gonna force you to change your mind. Okay.
So Moraine said that she came here to stop Bilal from killing Rand, and prophecies are fulfilled as they are meant to be, not how we think they should be.
Fair point. She doesn't know.
Yeah. And Ruark speaks up.
Yeah.
And he tells them about becoming a clan chief and going to Ruidian.
Okay, it's story time. It's so cool.
Yeah. And how once you become a clan chief, you come out marked. But that's something that the men swear to never speak of. Yeah,
so there's a couple important points. We've heard from way back in the Great Hunt, chapter 28, from Urian, tell the story about the whole Ruidian thing.
Yeah.
When he was telling Varen about what's up. And the whole, sign, and then she, wiped away the sign and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also hear that the women who want to become wise ones, if they have marks, they're, a total secret. But the men who are chosen at Ruidian, those who survive, are marked on the left arm with, drumroll...
a big old dragon.
Friggin' dragon.
Big old dragon.
Okay.
So he pushes back the sleeve of his coat and his shirt. And I also just like the note about the tan lines.
Yeah. Okay, but seriously, desert people, you cover yourself up. You will be very tanned in some places.
And very not tanned in others.
Never take your clothes off in other places.
Yeah, so anyway, so even his arm is much paler than his hand.
Hide from the sun because it wants to kill you.
Okay, so then we see the dragon wrapped around his forearm, and he says that they are called... But he can't say it out loud. And Moraine says, the Aiel are the people of the dragon.
Oh my god, so good.
And she is surprised.
How are you feeling about this?
Fine. What do you mean?
That's your reaction to the Aiel being the people of the dragon? Because it's fine?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, okay.
Great. I feel good.
Flabbergasted is what we were going for.
Flabbergasted? What?
I don't know.
Nothing flabbergasts me about this stuff.
Well, just you wait. We'll see.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's a pretty
I
big
wonder
mic drop.
why. Like, I want more information about this specifically because their whole prophecy is about, quote, he who comes with the dawn.
Yes.
Not the Dragon Reborn.
That is true. It is
right?
different. So it makes sense that they'd have their own prophecies.
Yes, but it has nothing to do that we know of with the dragon. Like,
true.
So why they are called people of the dragon?
Yeah.
Like, that's still a mystery to me.
Also, it's like the name He Who Comes with the Dawn.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a mouthful.
Yeah.
But it's like, why? Like, the whole, the Dragon Reborn makes sense because Luz Theron was called the Dragon for whatever reason.
Right.
We don't technically know why he was called the Dragon.
Yeah.
But, like, he's the reincarnation of the dragon, so the Dragon Reborn makes sense. But, like, He Who Comes with the Dawn...
Who knows?
Yeah.
So, anyway...
Questions.
Yeah. So, Maureen's like, oh my god, crazy. But you know what is not crazy? That Maureen didn't know this, because the Aes Sedai literally know nothing about the Aiel. So that's not surprising that she doesn't know this.
Yeah, it's not surprising.
Yeah.
But we gotta talk about this whole dragon tattoo on his arm.
Uh-huh. Why?
Well, if you remember, like, the prophecies of the dragon...
The Aiel with the dragon tattoo. It's a new... it's like spin-off series.
Did he murder someone? I can't remember how that,
Yeah, I actually don't know if I ever read that book.
Didn't she, like, kill someone or something? Or she's a murderer, she's not a murderer? Maybe I'm thinking of a different series.
Are you thinking of the girl on the train?
Maybe that's one. Yeah. She's like, I'm pretty sure she was a murderer.
That's different. Okay.
Yeah. Besides the point.
Yeah.
Okay. Twice and twice shall he be marked.
Yeah.
Once the dragon, twice the dragon.
Yeah.
We've got now... Once the dragon on the arm. We talked about ass tattoos with Randall Thor.
I know. Well, no.
We talked about...
What are you... Okay, no. First of all...
Yeah.
No.
We talked about tattoos on Rand's butt.
No, stop talking. So, I'm trying to formulate a sentence here.
Okay.
Because Rand needs to be marked twice with a dragon. Just because Ruark is marked with a dragon, that has nothing to do with...
No. But my point is that you had predicted that Rand might get butt tattoos.
Yeah, and I still think he will.
Okay. It was just like a reference to that.
Uh-huh.
That's what that is. That's what that is.
Okay, so you're leading me to believe that Rand is going to Ruidian to become a clan chief.
No,
how'd you
get that
joking.
on a butt cheek?
Because they get marked.
This was a butt joke.
Marked with the dragon tattoo.
Okay.
Because Egwene more than once has seen... in dreams, Rand in a dusty room with dragons settling on his skin.
That's true, but there was nothing about, like, the same thing that Ruark has.
No.
Yeah.
But why not? Why can't it be?
Well, it's the whole multiple dragons and everything like that.
Yeah, I always pictured
okay.
2 dragons settling on Rand's skin somewhere.
Yeah, well, that's, again, from the, like...
Yeah, so I think that
it was the once and twice
marking,
thing, so...
Yeah, this marking isn't the same as that marking.
Okay, that's what I'm kind of getting at.
No,
I mean, okay.
You're doing that thing and I don't like it. I want to move on.
We started off as a butt joke.
I want to move on.
And now it's confusing.
Yeah, I think that you did that on purpose to confuse me.
Probably.
Okay.
We'll never know.
Okay, so anyways, Matt says, oh good, so everything's done then. And he thinks, I won't have to blow the horn.
Yeah.
So he also thinks the last battle...
They all won the last battle. It's
great.
Yeah,
so same as Rand.
Yeah.
Same stupid everything. And Maureen's like, what? No. The Forsaken are loose. And Nynaeve is like, and there are black Ajah loose. Like 11 of them escaped. So we get that tidbit.
Yeah. Well, that means that Joya and Amiko did not, which makes sense. They were both, like, bound by Egwene.
Yeah. And... Matt's like, oh yeah, okay. But the hard part's done, right? Like, the stone has fallen to the people of the dragon, and Rand has Kalendor, and Shaitan is dead. And then, of course, the earth shakes because he just said the Dark One's name.
You're not supposed to do that.
And Maureen is like, hey, shut the fuck up, you idiot.
Stop saying his name.
And he's like, what? He's dead. And he's like, no, you saw a body. Like, do you really think the Dark One has a body of a man?
Yeah.
You stupid.
So that's the whole point of, like, it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah. And so all of the idiots in this room think that Beelzemon is the Dark One, and they all saw Rand kill him, and Rand is sure he killed the Dark One.
So when you say all the idiots in the room, is just Matt you're talking
No,
about, right?
and the women. Because they're all like, because Nynaeve and Elaine
well,
also...
Egwene doesn't, though.
Egwene doesn't.
Okay.
Egwene is the only non-idiot.
I just need to clarify there. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I have a, like, right away, I have a thing about Egwene. So, all of the idiots being
Gotcha.
everyone, like, literally everyone.
Not Egwene, not Moraine.
And probably not Rourke.
Okay. But
Yeah.
maybe, because
But
he looks a
maybe.
little bit maybe surprised.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure he knows what's
He's
going
hanging
on.
out.
He doesn't know.
He's
So
reading.
Rand is sure he's killed the Dark One, but it sounds like Moraine is saying that Baalzamon is not the Dark One.
What?
And Maureen's like, the shadow's full of lies, idiot.
Yeah.
And then freaking Egwene
She did it. She figured
figures
it out.
it out. Like, come on, Moraine. You're gonna let Egwene figure this? Like, you're gonna start letting Egwene figure things out?
Okay, but to be fair, Moraine is never said, like, Moraine already knows that it's, like, clearly...
She just doesn't know which one.
She doesn't know which one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Egwene says, I think it was Ishmael because of the weird thing that Varen showed me before.
Yeah, the whole thing that mentions him, like the name hidden within a name. So we kind of figured that
Yeah.
out before, but also Moraine mentions that it's perhaps he was the first of the Forsaken Freed,
Or
Or-
maybe he was never bound.
and we know that Ishmael was possibly and probably not completely bound.
Yes.
Because he was, like, doing stuff.
Doing stuff.
Yeah.
And he was like the first one out doing stuff anyway
Yes,
in
yeah.
the books. So now we have 9 probably free Forsaken.
Okay, who's dead? Name them.
Oh gosh. Aegonor.
Yeah,
Balthamel.
yeah,
Baalzamon.
Yeah.
No, well, Ishmael.
yeah,
And
yeah.
someone else.
I'll give you a hint.
It's Bilal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rand stabbed him in the chest.
No, Balefire.
Oh, yeah, Maureen.
Balefire.
Oh, my goodness.
You
okay.
were wrong.
That's
Okay.
right. Okay.
Okay.
I'm like, okay.
Okay. So, we have 3 broken seals. So, whatever battle they just won here, it is not the last one.
And it's like, these are the 3 they know about.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So then the doors open, and dramatically, a tall woman with dark hair walks in.
Very
and
dramatic.
I immediately go, uh-oh.
Yeah, very uh-oh.
I'm on high alert for tall women with dark hair.
Yep.
Walking in anywhere.
Well, on the good side, it's not actually technically Lanfear. It's
But
just
then-
like the woman that got sent by Lanfear.
But then don't worry, because she's wearing a red dress. And I was like, Lanfear would never wear a red
not
dress.
even ever.
And
Only white, maybe black. I could see that.
No.
Daughter of the Night thing?
No.
Okay.
She's gonna shine like the moon in stars. Okay, but first we get, this is definitely not Lanfear,
Not Lanfear.
but she is wearing a coronet,
Yes.
which
Mini crown.
I looked up, small crown,
Small crown.
because I didn't know. And it has a golden hawk on it.
Yeah.
So that's what I noticed.
Oh.
Oh.
What do you mean?
Well, Perrin
Oh.
needs a hawk. He's got his falcon.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a female hawk.
Yeah.
And this woman
This is the hawk.
happens to have a hawk on her crown.
Okay. That's true.
You want me to not notice that?
Well, no. That's a good observation.
Okay, that's what I got.
I'm just thinking of, like, symbols of the countries.
Yeah. She's wearing the hawk, and you're going to tell me she's not the hawk?
Well, Zareen calls herself
Falcon.
Fael, Falcon.
Yeah.
And then it's just like the symbol for Barrelane, who we now know.
Yeah.
We've heard of her before a couple times.
Uh-huh.
But it's like...
She's the first of my end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've heard of her twice.
Anyway, stop
Okay, so
taking
this
away
is-
my prediction.
This is the Perrin Hawk.
This is what I got.
Okay, I like it. No, I like it.
Why
I like
are
it.
you trying to downplay my prediction?
I'm sorry. No, I like it. I didn't mean to do that.
You're downplaying it.
I like it. It's just we don't get much.
No, I thought that was like a super subtle thing that, you were going to be surprised that I picked up on.
It is. No, that's good.
So that's my prediction, because I think that that's a tiny little subtle hint.
This is the hawk.
This is the hawk.
I like it.
Turns out that she is the first of Mayen, and she is delivering a message which she is not happy about.
Yes.
And it's clearly from Lanfear,
Yeah,
because
who,
she
like,
was
made her do it.
intimidated by a woman.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like this is the kind of woman who's intimidated by women.
And it's like Lanfear, and the note signed by Lanfear, we find out, so it's like Lanfear forces her to do it.
Oh, yeah. And
Yeah.
you know what? I've been wondering where that chick was.
She is hanging out and watching.
Yep.
Yeah.
Turns out.
I like that she gives permission to people to hang on to Rand for her.
Yeah. We get to that.
Yeah.
But first, what's her name? Barrelane?
Barrelane.
Tells Ruark that she will dine with him soon because he's the leader of the Aiel.
Yeah.
And then she's also like, I've been told the dragon has been reborn and I will dine with him tonight. And then she like turns and leaves.
So she seems very authoritative.
Demanding.
It's
confident.
It's interesting that she like walks in and it's like demands a dinner or like implies that there will be a dinner with Ruark.
Yeah. At some point in the future.
Yeah, and then also like I'm dining with the Dragon Reborn immediately. But we also know there's a conflict between Tyr and Mayenne, like besides the fact that Rand's here.
And like maybe that whole conflict will be different now. Like I think that the Tyr-Ilian conflict will be different now because
Rand is taking control of Tyr.
Well, and Bilal is dead and like half the High Lords are dead.
And we now know that Samael is an Ilian, so it's like now like leader Forsaken Man in Ilian versus Rand al'Thor, the Dragon Reborn, and Tyr. Yeah. But it's like that conflict between Mayenne and Tyr is going to definitely shift because we know there is like that weird power dynamic. So.
Right. Okay. So when I say I was wondering where that chick was, I meant Lanfear.
Yeah.
Because she's just like been a little bit absent since we saw her in the White Tower. So we never really got very much confirmation about that.
No, we didn't.
Unless she was working with Bilal and now she has to go figure out a new plan because
Bilal's
dead.
She sent the girls to Tyr.
Yeah, she did.
Like from what we could tell.
Yeah.
So that plan, whatever it probably was, doesn't seem like it's...
No, it didn't work.
Plan B, right?
Yeah. Okay. So the letter from Lanfear says, Lews Therin was mine, is mine, and he will be mine forever. I give him into your charge to keep for me until I come.
Yeah.
Signed, Lanfear.
XOXO.
Yeah.
So basically the same thing that she said to Min at the end of the Great Hunt.
Yes. That's like her thing. She shows up and says, he is mine.
He's mine. You can keep him for now until I come and claim him.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. So then Moiraine tells Mat that nothing is done for him yet. He is Taviran and the Sounder of the Horn. And Mat's like, oh, yeah. Totally. Cool. Yeah. You can totally count on me. And he's...
That's a good summary of his thoughts.
Yeah. And then he's also thinking, I wonder how fast I can get away from here. And when will Tom be fit to travel? And maybe Perrin will come with me.
Yeah. Gotta get the hell out of Dodge here.
No. Cool. Yeah, totally. Oh, yeah.
I'm your man.
Count on me.
Some news was clearly, like, spread to the girls, though. Because when Moiraine says, you sounded the Horn of Valyr, Egwene and Nynaeve and Elaine are all, like, looking at him differently now. Because,
they didn't
now
know that.
they know that he's the Horn Sounder for the Horn of Valyr.
Oh, yes.
And the cool part is that Ruark looks at Mat with, like, a bunch of respect.
Ah.
So we can also tell that, like, the Aiel know about the legends of the Horn of Valyr. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, why wouldn't they? But, like, it's important to note it.
You know what also we never got word about? How Swan is feeling about how Mat left. We never, ever got anything about that.
Yeah.
And
like
it obviously got back to her that he left with her letter.
Well, yeah.
And that's going to be on these women.
Yes.
For giving it to him.
Yeah.
But he's going to show up with Moiraine, so...
Maybe she'll be happy that the Forsaken didn't take Kalendor because she told the girls that they should sacrifice their lives to prevent that from happening.
Right.
So she might not necessarily
No,
be mad.
I wanted to see it right when it happened, though. Like, right? Like, I wanted to see how annoyed she was about the whole thing.
Make a lot of fish
after
references.
everything... Yeah. After everything, I mean, like, obviously she has to be a little more understanding. But at the time, I'm sure she was so mad.
Super pissed.
Yeah. But anyway, so this is the end of the chapter because there are cries that are rising up from the people outside. The dragon, al'Thor, the dragon. Yeah. And that's the end of this chapter, but this book finishes with a passage.
It does. I like how you say passage. I never really know what to call them.
Yeah.
Like I always say prophecy or it's like history or like I don't really know what to call them for us right now because we don't really know.
Right. Well, this is obviously after this event has happened. That's why I don't think it's a prophecy.
So the fourth, and this was a speculation because we know this is currently the third age.
Yeah.
So the fourth age implies this is in the future.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because it says, and it was written that no hand but his should wield the sword held in the stone, but he did draw it out like fire in his hand, and his glory did burn the world. Thus did it begin. Thus did we sing his rebirth. Thus do we sing the beginning.
Yes.
So.
And really, in a lot of senses, this is the beginning of the Dragon Reborn in the sense that Rand has gotten from farm boy in a village to the point where he now accepts that he is the Dragon Reborn, and he has essentially a city under his control.
Yeah.
Like whatever you want to call it. Like he owns Tyr now. He owns Tyr. So like he has some semblance of power in the world.
That's true.
So the big question moving forward is going to be, the world knows that the real Dragon Reborn, who's supposed to like defeat the Dark One in the last battle,
well, there's
needs
controversy about what the Dragon Reborn actually is, though.
What he is, what he's supposed to do, is he going to destroy everybody again?
There's serious controversy because everyone thinks that the dragon is the one who broke the world. Well, not everyone. A lot of people believe that the dragon is the one who broke the world in the first place, and if the dragon's reborn, that's bad. Even
if he's supposed to like fight the Dark One, he's gonna still like do bad stuff.
Yeah, but like for example, the guys in Emmonsfield, that whole town thinks that the Dragon Reborn, saying the dragon is synonymous with the Dark One.
Except for Tam Althor.
Well, yeah, no, I know, but I'm just saying that there are people out there who don't believe that the dragon being reborn is the good guy.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, there's a lot of controversy in the world surrounding this entire thing.
Definitely. So it doesn't seem like it's going to be even though Rand has
also, what's happening in Emmonsfield? What are those white cloaks doing? We got one mention of it at the beginning of this book.
We did.
Fuck you, Robert Jordan. Are you joking?
Oh my goodness.
This is so much. There's so much. And like, where's Min? And what's happening? And who's where? Gosh.
So I'm in some senses, it's really...
Where's Lan, by the way?
What do you mean, where's Lan?
How come he's not in this room with them? What did he do to get Moiraine into the stone? Where is he? Is he hurt?
I would assume that Lan probably killed a bunch of people to get them in.
Yeah, but why isn't he standing in this room with her now?
It's a good question.
That doesn't sound like Lan.
Doesn't sound like him.
Ugh. Goodness gracious.
What a cliffhanger.
Ugh.
Yeah. So I was going to say...
Which is interesting, because it seems like everything is so nicely wrapped up.
But not even at all.
Once I start thinking about all of these ends that are not tied up, I'm like, what the heck's happening?
Like zero plot lines are tied up?
Yeah.
Like nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah. Zero. Like nothing is wrapped up. We don't know anything.
Literally nothing. Except for this prophecy is. And the whole he comes with the dawn is. Remember I thought Rand was going to have to go to the Aiel Waste?
Yeah.
This, he got to... Two birds with one stone.
There you go. Easy.
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
2 things to check off on your list.
Fantastic.
This is like when you do something that's not on your to-do list,
but
then you write it on your to-do list.
After you've already done it,
and
so you immediately cross it off. That's how I start every morning because it makes me feel accomplished.
I do that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The issue is I don't do anything else on my to-do list after that, so it's not good.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the point of to-do lists.
Okay. So this is the end of the 3rd book of The Wheel of Time.
We did it.
Let's go have a baby.
Let's do it. Okay, see you on the other side, people.
Except by the time this comes out,
yeah,
we'll have a baby.
Like a 1 month,
one month old. Yeah.
Well, okay, here we go.
Cool. Is that it?
That's it. You can say your thing now.
I can?
Yep, do it.
No other predictions?
Nope. 20% done.
Oh my gosh.
We did it.
Okay. Well, this is officially part of the pattern now.
It's part of the pattern.
Thank you for listening to this episode. The Wheel Weaves is hosted by Dani and Brett, produced by Dani and Brett, with Vince Lewick, Derek Benton, Michelle O'Brien, Moltude, Benjamin, Passion Socks, and Mozyme, with music by Audionautics.com. If you'd like to support us making great content, and you're interested in extra bonus content like bonus episodes, Q&As, outtakes, early released episodes, unedited video released episodes, and exclusive merchandise, please visit patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. Don't forget to check us out on social media, on Instagram and Twitter. You can find us at The Wheel Weaves Podcast. We love interacting with our fans, and that's the best way to get a hold of us if you want to chat. Also, you can join the conversation with other Wheel of Time fans with Brett and myself over at our Discord channel for spoiler-free and spoiler-full content. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and feel free to tell a friend about us because referrals really are the very best compliment. Thanks again for listening, and this really is part of the pattern now.